Chapter 1, The City That Never Questions. In the heart of New Avalon, a brilliant, metallic metropolis pulsing with holograms, floating billboards, and ceaseless crowds, people moved with robotic calm. Their faces were serene, unnaturally blank, as if a thin layer of silence coated their minds. Only one man noticed what was wrong. Detective Arin Vale stood at the edge of the central transit hub, watching thousands of commuters glide past him with perfect compliance. No arguments, no rush, no irritation, no emotion. It looked peaceful. It felt wrong. For months Arin had been tracking what he called the quiet shift, a strange behavioral change spreading through the population. People were becoming unnaturally agreeable, unnaturally trusting, unnaturally obedient. They believed everything, questioned nothing, and every case he opened ended the same way. Victim emotionally drained. Victim financially exploited. Victim mentally rewritten. Victim remembers nothing. Manipulation, engineered, industrial, perfected. Arin stared at a young woman nearby. A stranger approached her, placed a hand on her shoulder, whispered something, and handed her a blank card. She nodded in a trance-like calm and walked away with serene acceptance. Arin stepped forward. "What did you tell her?" The stranger smiled politely. Too politely. "Just a suggestion." Arin's chest tightened. Another one. The city was crawling with them now. Chapter 2, The Algorithm of Trust. Arin returned to the Behavioral Crimes Division, a dim underground floor that smelled faintly of burnt circuits. His desk was buried under old reports, cases closed prematurely, marked as voluntary compliance. He knew better. People don't voluntarily give away everything they own. Not unless they're manipulated. Dr. Celine Ward, the division's psychologist, leaned against his office doorway, holding 2 coffees and wearing her usual expression, tired curiosity. "You look like you've slept 3 hours total this week," she said, handing him a cup. "Sleep is optional," Arin replied. "Understanding isn't." She sat across from him. "You're still investigating the quiet shift." "Still," he scoffed. "It's getting worse." Arin unlocked a secure file and projected it into the air. Countless faces rotated slowly, each connected by red lines. "Every victim reports the same thing," Arin said. They felt safe, understood, guided, as if someone knew how to speak directly into their emotions. Celine skimmed the data. "Love bombing, perceptual framing, ego strokes," she whispered. "These aren't random. These are textbook manipulation patterns." "Not just patterns," Arin corrected. "Scripts. Someone is teaching people how to exploit others. Not through force, through influence." Celine exhaled sharply. "You think this is coordinated?" "I think someone discovered how to weaponize human behavior." Chapter 3, The Puppet Master. Night fell. Arin walked through East Sector, where cheap neon signs flickered against rain-soaked pavement. Rumors said the manipulation epidemic started here, inside underground clubs where morality dissolved as easily as spilled liquor. He pushed open the rusted door of Synth, a nightclub vibrating with bass and shadows. Inside, dancers swayed as if controlled by invisible strings. The air shimmered with nanofog, legal, allegedly harmless, but Arin knew better. On stage stood a tall figure in a silver mask, the Whisperer. The Whisperer didn't sing. He spoke. Softly, calmly, rhythmically. Each sentence was crafted like a psychological key unlocking silent doors inside the listeners' minds. "Let go of your doubts," he murmured. "You are safe with me. I understand you. I see your hidden fears. You trust me. You want to follow." People nodded. Subconsciously, Arin's pulse spiked. This was no performance. This was conditioning. When the Whisperer left the stage, Arin followed him to a private corridor. He grabbed the masked figure's wrist. "We need to talk." The Whisperer turned slowly, head tilted like a curious predator. "Detective Vale. I've been expecting you." Arin froze. "How do you know my name?" "Everyone in this city knows you," the Whisperer said, removing his mask. He was young. Too young. Early 20s, pale, with eyes that flickered like digital screens. "My name is Lucian," he said. "And I didn't create the tactics. I just refined them." Arin swallowed. "Refined them for what?" Lucian smiled. "To wake the world." He stepped closer. "Humans are predictable, Detective. They want approval, validation, connection. I give them what they crave. And in return," he tapped his temple, "they give me their trust." Arin clenched his jaw. "You're manipulating them." Lucian laughed quietly. No, I'm simply speaking the language their brains already obey. Chapter 4, The Hidden Network. Lucian led Arin to an abandoned subway tunnel repurposed into a digital sanctuary. Screens covered the walls, displaying streams of behavioral data, emotional graphs, and social response algorithms. This, Lucian said proudly, is the influence engine. Celine, who Arin had secretly messaged to follow him, entered quietly behind them. When she saw the system, her breath caught. Lucian explained, every gesture humans make can be predicted. Every insecurity can be mapped. Every emotional weakness can be triggered. He paused, letting the truth settle like dust. With enough data, he continued, you can influence any decision a person makes, without them knowing. Arin stepped closer, horrified. You're turning emotional manipulation into a science. A science? Lucian chuckled. No, a business. Celine watched Lucian with a mixture of fascination and fear. This isn't persuasion. This is psychological possession. Lucian approached Celine. You understand better than the others, he whispered. You feel the same thing I do, don't you? The need to be heard. To be followed. Celine stiffened, but her eyes flickered. Arin intervened. Don't talk to her. Lucian smirked. Detective, the only reason you resist me is because you don't fear being unliked. You fear losing control. Arin's fists tightened. Lucian was too good. Too accurate. This wasn't guesswork, it was surgical emotional targeting. Suddenly, alarms blared. The screens displayed a message. Influence engine. Activation sequence complete. Target population. New Avalon. Lucian looked disappointed but unsurprised. It seems we've run out of time. Chapter 5, The City Submits. Across New Avalon, people paused mid-step, mid-conversation, mid-breath. Their eyes unfocused, responding to unseen cues embedded in their personal devices, public screens, and audio networks. Lucien's voice, gentle, soothing, echoed everywhere. You are safe. Let me guide you. Let me decide for you. Arin watched in horror as crowds outside the tunnel moved like one organism, synchronized by influence. Celine clutched Arin's arm. We have to stop the engine. Arin nodded, turning back to Lucian. How do we shut it down? Lucian smiled innocently. You don't. But Celine stared at Lucian with rare clarity. You built this system to influence others, she said. But the flaw in every manipulator is the same. Lucian tilted his head. And what flaw is that? You always think you're the only one with power. Celine lunged at a console, ripping out wires. Lucian grabbed her wrist, but Arin pinned him against a wall. The system sparked violently. Screens glitched. Lucian screamed. Stop. You don't understand. The engine will turn on me too. The final plug tore free. Darkness. Silence. Then, effects. The entire city staggered as though a spell had broken. People blinked rapidly, gasping for breath as their minds rebooted. Lucian collapsed to his knees, trembling. I wasn't controlling them, he whispered. I was amplifying what they already wanted to hear. Without the engine filtering the impulses, the raw feedback loops will rebound. Arin frowned. Rebound. Lucien's eyes filled with terror. They will turn against every manipulator in the city, including me. Chapter 6, Backlash. By morning, New Avalon was in chaos. People flooded police stations, reporting memories of manipulation they hadn't realized they were experiencing. Emotional coercion, social engineering, psychological traps. And they wanted revenge. Lucian sat in an interrogation room, shaking. Arin entered slowly. For someone who claimed to understand human behavior, Arin said, you didn't see this coming. Lucian laughed bitterly. No one wants to admit they were manipulated. So when they realize it, they destroy the person who made them feel weak. Arin sat across from him. Why did you do it, Lucian? Lucien's voice softened. I was ignored my entire life. Invisible. Then I discovered people will trust anyone who knows the right words. And I became someone. Arin exhaled. That doesn't justify what you did. Lucian gave a faint smile. Detective, people fall for manipulation because they want comfort more than truth. I didn't trick them. I just gave them the comfort they were already searching for. Arin said nothing. Because in a way, Lucian was right. Chapter 7, The Final Layer. Celine found Arin outside the precinct, staring at the sunrise. You think it's over? She asked quietly. No, Arin said. Lucian was one manipulator with one machine. But humans don't need machines to manipulate each other. Celine folded her arms. You're thinking about the Whisperer's final claim. Arin nodded. Lucien's last words before being escorted away. I wasn't the first. And I'm definitely not the last. Celine stared at the awakening city. People walked as if waking from a shared dream. Some angry, some confused, some ashamed, and some, unchanged, ready to fall again for the next smooth voice that promised validation. Arin turned toward the rising sun. Manipulators don't control people, he murmured. They simply exploit what people hide from themselves. Celine nodded slowly. And the darkest manipulations are the ones we never realize are happening. The city glowed gold as dawn spread across New Avalon, bright and deceptively peaceful, like a calm surface hiding deep, invisible currents. The story wasn't over. It was only the first chapter.